Okay, so built-in now we have built-in exceptions now. Like a thread class also is having some methods, right, which is going to define the and manage the thread. So I told about a main thread, right? So it is going to, when a Java program starts, that main thread is automatically starts executing, right? And I told about a public static thread, why we are going to give a public static and all, right? And main method, so we're going to define the above program. So how it is going to execute the, when we are going to change the set name, and when we are going to use a pause, which is going to be accomplished with a sleep method, right? The argument to sleep method is to specify the integer number as a whole, which is going to be in milliseconds. Okay, so that previous example, see, we have given the thread dot sleep 1000. So because sleep is also one method which is defined in the thread class, that's why we are going to use a thread dot sleep. Okay, so because that sleep is belongs to that method, okay, that class. Okay, that is the reason why we are going to access the sleep without the thread as a object. Then the, that is about the whatever the sleep method, which are these and main method, how it has been executed, and the number of milliseconds to suspend specified is specified in milliseconds. This method may throw the interrupted exception. So now come to the how we are going to create a thread. Okay, so how we are going to create a new thread. There are two different ways where we are going to create a thread. One is you can implement the runnable interface. The other one is with a extend the thread class itself. Okay, these two methods we are going to use for the creation of the two threads. To create a thread is to create a class that implements the runnable interface. So runnable interface, so runnable abstracts a unit of executable code that is going to be implemented with the executable code. You can construct a thread on any object that implements runnable. Okay, we can create or construct a thread of any kind of the object which is going to be implemented as a runnable. To implement a runnable, a class need only implement okay, a single method called the run, which is declared as C public void run. Okay, so if you want to make a runnable class, okay, implement a runnable, we have to use a method called as a public void run as a method. Inside this run, you will define the code that constitutes the new thread. You have to define a new thread inside this method. Okay, it is important to understand that run can call other methods. Okay, use other classes also, and declare the variables like instance variables what we are declaring in the class. In similar manner, even we can declare the variables also. Okay, other classes declare the variables just like the main thread what it can do. Okay, the only difference is that run establishes the entry point for another concurrent thread of the execution within your program. This thread will end when run returns. Okay, so when a run returns, this thread is going to end. So after you create a class that implements a runnable, you will initiate an object of type thread from with that class. 1 second. Someone is in the lobby. So this is a run method which you are going to give. After you create a class that implements runnable, that with a run method, you will initiate an object of type thread from within that class. That thread is going to define several constructors. Okay, it can define any number of constructors. The one that we will use is a thread. See here, the one which you among the several constructors, the one which we are going to use is say thread. Why we are going to use a give thread is because the thread class constructor, because the same name as a class name, thread runnable. Okay, see, thread ob, that is the object, comma string thread name. Okay, we are going to give a name of a thread which is a group of words. That's why we are declaring that as a string. Okay, and runnable thread object we are creating because to access the members of that thread class. Okay, in this constructor, the thread ob is an instance of the class that I told. No, instance of the class is nothing but an object. Okay, that implements a runnable interface. This defines where execution of the thread will begin. As I told that your execution starts from this part. Okay, the name of the new thread is specified by thread name, so that's why it is given string thread name. This is a new thread name which you are going to specify for the thread. After the new thread is created, it will not start running until you call its start method. Okay, there is one method called as a start method, right? That is a one method until when the new thread is created. So if you want to run that new thread, we have to call a start method. Then only your new thread is start executing, right? Until that it will not start execute, which is declared within a thread. In essence, start executes a call to run. Okay, the start method is here. So when we are going to start, we are going to method is shown here. Void start. See here example which we are creating a second thread. See the command. We are going to create a second thread. So main thread is that one run. Okay. So under that, so it is going to class new thread. Why we are given the new thread? Because this is a second new thread which we are creating, which implements runnable. Okay, so where we are going to give the interface for this runnable thread t. Okay, so now see new thread method we are defining. T is equal to new thread this comma demo thread. This is the operator which we are using to assign implicitly the demo thread. Okay, T is equal to new thread this comma demo thread. Okay, system.out.println child thread comma plus T. See now T start your new thread starts executing from this part. Okay, so your new thread what you have created here, say on the top, T is equal to new thread this comma demo thread. Okay, system.out.println child thread. This is the second thread now, that's why we are calling it as a child thread. Okay, so now when you give us the T dot start, it starts executing your new thread. Okay, and the next is I told now run. So runnable thread. Okay, which we are going to use the call which we are going to single method which is going to be created as public void run, right? And this run you will define the code that constitutes a new thread. It is important to understand that run can call other methods. So here see, we are calling the catch block and exception handling mechanisms with a try and catch keywords. Okay, so now try. So I is equal to 5, I is less than greater than 0, I minus minus child thread, how many times you are going to call. Okay, so now so plus I, let's keep on increment, that means you are going to print the 1, 2, 3, sorry, 5, okay, decreasing order, sorry. So because we are initialize I is equal to 5. Now the sleep, so we are asking the thread, so for you take pause for 500 milliseconds, okay. And catch block is going to accept the exceptions if the child class is interrupted, and this is going to be catch, and it is going to send a message that child is interrupted, okay. So
next time ఇస్తాను.
the system that out at println, so if that is not the case, exception is not handling, then it is going to print existing child thread. So now this is a main program. These two are the methods. This is a new thread which we are creating, right? And this is a run thread, runnable thread, okay? So that we are creating, which is calling the try and catch blocks to show the exception handling mechanisms if the child is got interrupted, okay? So now this is a main program. Say these two are the methods, run and the new thread runnable are the two methods. Then so class thread demo, we are going to use the main, we start writing the main program, that is C public static void main and string arguments. So new space new thread which is going to create a new thread. So okay, so because which we are calling here, okay, new thread which implements runnable class, okay. Then the try again main thread start executing, as I told, when your Java program starts, main thread start executing, and we have paused for 1000 milliseconds, okay. And cat, if any exceptions occurs for main thread interruptions, then this main thread interrupted, the message will be appearing, right? So inside a new thread constructor, a new thread object is created by the following statement. As you know that this, see here, we have created now this comma uh, this comma demo thread, okay. So next is, so passing this is the first argument, indicates that you want the new thread to call the run method on this object implicitly. I told no, this object is going to call the demo thread for the execution. Next start is called. So next is we are going to call a start method, right? So when a start method is called here, 1 second. See this method start is called. See here, after new thread, this demo thread is executed, and start is called, which starts the thread of the execution beginning at the run method. Okay, it starts. This causes the child threads for loop to begin. So see here, child class for loop is started here. We initializing I is equal to 5 and I is greater than 0 and I minus minus. Okay, so the your for loop child's for loop starts beginning. After calling the start new thread constructor, it returns to the main program. See here, we are calling here in the main program, okay. So it returns to the main method, okay. When the main thread resumes, it enables its for loop. Both threads continue running, sharing the CPU. Both run and the start method start their execution, and they are going to share the CPU time until their loops are going to get finished, okay. The output produced by the program will be, main thread will be 5. So here main thread is 5. Again child thread for loop is going to be executed. You recall your memory, run method is going to be executed one time, and child new thread is going to be executed one time. that time what happens? When run is executed, it is going to give a main thread. When the new child, when new thread is created, that is executed from the start, its for loop is going to be executed and it is going to print 5. Okay, one time run method, one time the new thread method is going to be executed, right? So that is how returns a main. When the main thread resumes its answers for the for loop, both threads continue running. Say main thread 5, child thread 5, child thread 4, main thread 4. So like this, the output is going to be executed, right? So when it exiting the child thread, main thread will be 2 and main thread is 1. Main thread exiting. See here, final. See here, system.out.println main thread is exiting. That means it is terminating the main thread. So in a multi-threaded program, as we are already mentioned that the main thread must be the last thread to finish the running. I told no, in the yesterday's class itself I told that. So main thread is having lot of things to do, right? So that is the one which is going to be executed at the end. Okay, so main thread must be the last thread to finish the running. That is the reason why you are going to get the messages. See, main thread 2, main thread 1 and the main thread is exiting. Okay, in fact for some older Java virtual machines, right, if the main thread finished the before child thread has completed, then Java runtime system may hang. So what happens if the child completes the work before the main thread? Java system is going to be hang. Okay. The preceding program ensures that main thread finishes last because the main thread sleeps for 1000 milliseconds between the iterations of child thread sleeps for only 5 milliseconds. This causes the child thread to terminate earlier than the main thread shortly. You will see that it's a better way of wait for a thread to finish. Okay, this is how your run method and the start method are going to execute when you are going to creating a thread with the runnable interface and with the runnable interface which will have the run method and the start method. Start method executes only when the new child is when it encounters the start method, then only your child or the new thread is going to be executed. Okay, that is two things you have to remember from this creating of the thread with the implement the runnable interface, right? Run method and the start method. Okay, just go through the program how the class is created. Okay, so here since it is a interface, we are going to give a implements runnable. Okay, class new thread implements runnable thread T. Okay, so new thread we are defining here, that is called as a second thread. Okay, and this pointer, as I told, it is the argument which is going to indicate that you want a new thread to call the run method of this object. That is why this operator is passed as an argument to new thread. Okay, so after that, see here we are called the, so we are going to display that this is a child class because this is a second thread we are creating. That is why it is called as a child class. Okay, then t dot start, your start method is start execution from the beginning at the run method. See now, main thread, it is going to print the I is equal to 5, right? Then it is going to, you see, after that we start executing the start method. Okay, so that is going to print the its I. Okay, child thread is 5. Okay, next come for the extending the thread. So that is the second method how your thread is going to be created with the subclasses. Extend means, what do you meaning of extend? Is a subclass. Second way to create a thread is to create a new class called the thread. Okay, a thread, and then create an instance of that class. The extending class must override the run method, which is the entry point for the new thread. It must also start method to begin execution of the new thread. Here is a preceding program new written to extend the thread. Only thing is, here what we see is here new thread. So here what we created is implement runnable. Okay, new thread implements runnable. Here you see the difference. Extends class, new thread extends thread, because with the use of the thread class we are creating the new thread. Okay, I told the thread class is there, which is having several methods, constructors, so that is going to support with the different options. Okay, the like get name helps them manage the threads, right? So thread is a main class, super class, as I told. So it is a implement runnable, because with the runnable interface we are creating the new thread here. And here with the extension of the thread class we are creating the new thread. See here difference, class, new thread, extend thread. Here see here, so class, new thread implements runnable. You just note down the differences, how the extend class is new thread is going to be created. New thread same, super class. Why it is called as a super class? Because this new thread class uses the properties of the main class thread. That is why the super class is nothing but a thread is called as a super class. Now super demo thread. So here we are not using, we are using the this pointer, this operator, to show that this is a demo thread. Okay, here it's not necessary, because we are extending directly with the main class itself, right? This operator is not necessary here. Okay, now system.out print, then so here see, here we are mentioning the this means it is understood it is a super class. Okay, so start method start executing from the beginning of the run method, right? So similarly run method you see same program. So sleep for 500 milliseconds. If any exceptions got, then your catch block is going to handle that exception, stating that child got interrupted. Okay, otherwise it is going to give the message exiting the child thread. Okay, it is coming out of that child thread. Then main program, new thread, right? We are creating the with a new operator, then everything will be the same. See here, same output. This also evaluates the same output. Only thing is, with extension of the extending the thread class. See here, class, new thread, extends thread. Okay, and we, since thread is a super class, we use a super as a keyword, as you people already know that what is the use of super, right? So it initializes the instance variables of the super class. Okay, so that is what, same program, only this statement. Okay, this statement, and here instead of uh, uh, I, it is going to give this. Here instead of printing the T, it is going to print the this. Implicitly it says that this means superclass of. Okay, it is going to execute. The child thread is created by the object new thread, which is derived from the thread. Okay, derived class. Notice that call to super inside the new thread. This invokes the following form of thread constructor. This constructor is going to be created. Thread name specifies the name of the thread which we are creating as a second thread, and creating the multiple threads. Suppose I want to create multiple threads, more than one thread. Okay, I can give the, see here, multiple threads. So string thread names. Okay, I can give the multiple threads. It is going to specify the name of the thread. Suppose when you want to create multiple threads, okay, two threads, one is a main thread, the other one is a child thread. However, your program can span to so many threads it needs. For example, you take this example, okay, when you are going to create a new thread, okay. So once you started, all three child threads share the CPU. So all the three childs which are there, okay, or child number 1, child number 2 and child number 3, okay. See now, so no, the 1000 is the main milliseconds which is going to causes the main thread to sleep for 10 seconds and ensures that it will finish the last. See, class new thread implements runnable. So this program which is going to use the first method to create your multiple threads, okay. String name, see the difference, what you are given there. One second, here thread T, okay, thread of class T, only T one we are writing. Here it's not like that. See here, so we are going to give a string thread. String thread means, so name of the thread, okay, thread T, then new thread string thread name, name is equal to thread name, new thread this comma name, okay. So new thread plus T starts the thread, and it is a run command which is going to start for the thread, and here see, this is going to print the name of the thread, okay. So thread 1 and thread 1, 2, 3 like that. So here whichever the thread it is exiting, so exiting 1, it is going to display exiting the 1 thread. If it is exiting 2 thread, then it is going to give the message exit 2 exiting, so 3 exiting. Finally, you know that main thread is going to be exiting, okay. So see, class multi thread demo, new thread. See here we are sending 1, 2, 3 other new threads to this parameter. So string thread name, got it. So when the constructor is created, see here we are passing the parameter 1 as the first thread to this string name, okay, string thread name 1. Then second one, string thread name 2, say 2, second time it is going to send the thread 2, and third it is going to send to 3, okay, it is sending to the, that is a string name as a 3. See here, constructor string thread name is there, no. First it sends a parameter. When the object 1 is created, it sends 1 thread. Second time it sends a 2. Third time it sends a 3. Okay. Now, so if any errors occurs for any thread, then it is going to display that particular thread. Thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, right? Then it is going, exception is handled, and it is going to give the message that particular thread is got interrupted. If it is one thread is got interrupted, it gives a message the one thread got interrupted. If it is 2 got interrupted, then it is going to display the 2 got interrupted, and if it is 3, it got interrupted. 3 thread is interrupted. Okay, so you know that exiting, while exiting, you know that it is going to be exiting the one thread first, next is second, next is third, and finally the main thread got exit. Okay, So as you can see, once started, all the three child threads share the CPU. Notice that call to sleep 1000 in main. This causes the main thread to sleep for 10 seconds, ensures that it will finish at the last. Okay, this is about the how we are going to create multiple threads using the run and start method, and how we are going to send the parameter as a constructor. See, new thread, new with the use of the new operator, you are sending the multiple threads 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and similarly here the string name is going to accept the thread name as 1, 2, and 3. In turn, the thread name will be assigned as the name of the thread. Okay, and whichever the thread you are giving, that with the use of this operator, implicitly we are assigning thread number 1, thread number 2, and thread number 3. Okay, this is how your process is carried out for creation of the multiple threads. In the previous examples, we solved only the with the we are going to use the interface runnable and the extending with the thread class, right? So here with the use of the first method, that is the runnable interface, right? So we have created the multiple threads. Even with the use of the extend class also, we can create a more than one multiple threads also. Multiple threads means more than one thread, we call it as a multiple thread. So these are the two methods which is going to illustrate the creation of the single thread with a runnable interface and with the extension of the thread class. Okay, so you go through the program, how you are going to pass the parameters for the string that is multiple threads, right? Okay, see now 1 5 2 5 3 5. Next time 1 4 2 4 3 4. Because of the I loop, what we are executing, I is equal to no. When 1 executes, then it is going to print I is equal to 5. 2 thread, it is going to execute the 5. Okay, then 3, it is going to print the 5. 1 2 3. See again, see the multiple thread. Thread number 1 4, thread number 2 4, 3, thread number 4. Okay, then again 3. See 1 thread 3. Okay, the 3 and 3 and see finally the first one is going to exit, second 2 is going to exit, and finally 3 thread number 3 is going to exit, and finally as we already know that main thread is the one which is going to finish all the work. So finally main thread is going to exit. Okay, so you go through how to create a thread with a runnable interface and with the extend thread, that is a super with the use of the super class thread, right? And how we are going to create a multiple threads and how we are going to send the parameters new threads to from the main program to the new thread class. Okay, so just go through the example. You have to remember the changes. Everything will be same. Okay, so 2 or 3 statements will be the difference. If you sit with the 3 programs, then you can understand very well the difference between the all the 3 programs, sending the creating the multiple threads, creating a single thread with a